to another week. Letting everybody get in here today. So we're gonna, here in a little bit, we're gonna dig into a book. I've actually not really read it much here, but I really enjoy this book. It's called Savor. Come on, camera. You can do it. Focus. There we go. Savor by Thich Nhat Hanh, who is a Buddhist, Vietnamese Buddhist Zen master, poet, scholar, and peace activist. I've read some of his other work. I absolutely love it. I mean, his stuff is... No, it'd be fair to say this. He's changed my life. I've read things from him that have completely changed my way of living. He's the author of many books, including such important basics as Peace is Every Step and The Art of Power. Hanh lives in Plume Village, his meditation center in France, and travels worldwide, leading retreats in the art of mindful living. And so I had read his book, from a spiritual standpoint. I was a couple years ago, year and a half ago, like on a Buddhist kick, studying, not to become one, just to learn about it and find the practices that I did enjoy to incorporate into my hodgepodge of practices. But later on, I discovered he had written a book called Savor about eating. And I was like, well, I got to check this out. So we'll dig into this later. I grabbed a section that I enjoyed. I enjoyed a lot of the book, but I grabbed a section that I enjoyed. We can dig into it. But let's see who's here. Hey, Joseph. Good morning. Amber. Good morning. Michelle. Sandy. Letters of Love Designs. Hope. All right. Welcome to the live stream, everyone. So, hey, if you got a win, I want to hear about your win. Oh, let me see my buttons. Candace told me I have to make these things work or she's not going to watch anymore. But it's still not working. Hold on. What happens if I drag it up here? Does it play this time? No. I don't know what's going on. I had these fun buttons and they never run. Is there a setting I'm missing? No, I'm not missing a setting. They're just video clips. Like they should just run. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, hey, don't forget to like and subscribe, though. If you enjoy the live stream, be sure to smash that like button. It totally helps. Looks like we got some more people joining. That's good. Let's see, Joseph, we got to win. Injured my foot, tendonitis, bummer, and still going to the gym and working around the injury. That's how you do it. Old days for me in the past. If I got injured, I just wouldn't do anything. Now, my typical response is like, if you're injured, I'm like, let's say you broke your foot. My response is always like, so you're still going to the exercise, right? Well, no, my foot's broke. It's like, the rest of your body's fine. What's wrong with the rest of it? My foot's broke. So don't work out your foot. But my foot's broke. I can't work out. The doctor said don't do anything with it. Right, but the rest of your body works just fine. Go work out your arms. Go work out your legs. Go swim in a pool. Go do something. Find something you can do. Movement's good for healing. If you actually care about healing, if you're like, no, I'm prioritizing the healing of my foot, then you will go move. So anyway, Joseph, big win. Big win. That's the right mindset to have, that you're approaching it. Big win. Morning, Jody. Morning, Ashley. Morning, Christina. Morning, David. Morning, Shelley. Amanda. Yes, my dear, I know. I didn't have time. I had to get the cameras and the lights set up. I didn't have time. So, remember when you said the buttons didn't work, you would get up and dance for big wins? I don't remember saying I would do that. I remember you saying I would do that. Or maybe I'm misremembering. But good morning, Lauren. Let's see. Got off track with my strength training due to a busy week. That happens. With kids last week, but got back to my routine last night. That's a win. That's a win, because for a lot of us, we get knocked off the bandwagon. We get knocked off the horse, so to speak. We just don't get back on it. So great job, Lauren. Excellent job. Oh, wait, hold on. This isn't the right. I forgot 1 second. We got to do this view so I can have this up here. All right. Thought that was interesting. I forgot. Morning, Joey. Let's see. Joseph, itching to move again. Can't walk. And it's driving me stir crazy. Ugh, yeah. I mean, for me, when I was on crutches, when I injured my foot, I mean, don't get me wrong, though. I was hobbling around on crutches. I'm like, Doc said I can use crutches. I'm using crutches. So I'm just going to keep going. Michelle spent most of the day in the ER. What? and still got a little over 9K steps. A little win. I mean, that's a big win, but damn, I hope everything's okay. Hope I don't think that's okay. So here's the thing, interesting, Rhea. Actually, for Michelle, that is a little win. For me, that would be a little win. Because when it's like baked into your life, getting 9,000 steps is like just a little bit of a push. It's not actually a big thing anymore. When you're at the beginning of the journey, it's a big deal. When you don't live an active lifestyle, it's a big deal. If you typically would respond to stress by just sitting and doing nothing, it's a big deal. So this is where we have to remember, like, knowing the person. So Michelle lives an active life, and she's already on the other side. That, and she didn't say she was in the ER. Now, Michelle, if you were in the ER for yourself, I mean, depending on what it is, yeah, that might be pretty badass. But if you were just there supporting somebody, I agree with you. That would be a little win. A good little win. Little wins are good. They're not bad. Like, get lots of little wins, because the beauty is a win is a win. Emotionally, you still get the boost from a win. Yeah, it's so. I mean, it really is the same thing. Like, you can't compare yourself to anybody else. You got to look at the individual, look at yourself, and see where it's at. Like, for me, in the beginning of my journey, turning down a donut when it was offered to me was a really big deal. I mean, a really, really big deal. I literally went in my office and threw my hands up in the air. I was like, I did that. I even told a friend about it. I was so proud of myself. I did that. I'd never turned down donuts when there was my favorite donuts in the box. And my favorite donuts were in the box. And I said, no. Now, I wouldn't. I don't think that would deserve to be celebrated. Like, okay, I've done that so many times. It's so easy for me to do that now. Like, it's just not a big deal. It'd be like me celebrating as a huge win that I just ran a mile. It's like, once upon a time, that was a BFD. Big fucking deal. Now, cool, Chris. Good job. I mean, I'm glad you're out there running. I'm glad you're out there pushing. But, like, let's not pretend like this is a big deal for you, Chris. Like, we both know you already could do it. We both knew all you needed to do was just go do it. So this is where we have to look at things. All right, now, Michelle, you're saying you were the patient and you got 9,000 steps. All right, well, that's a big deal. I hope you're okay. Oh, you did say you survived. That's the big win. I hope everything's okay. Wait, Renee, what the 26,000 steps? Oh, wait, more in the last week. Oh, I should have read the whole thing. I mean, that's still a lot. That's still a lot. You said more in the last week than the week before. Let me just do some math. 26,000 divided by 7, carry the 1, divide by the square root of the sun. 3,700 additional steps a day? Damn, girl. Damn. Great job. Great job. And you were I already clicked that one. But again, Michelle, depending on what you were in there for. I mean, I've been to the ER for not much and nothing, which is lame sometimes. I've also been there for much of something. I don't like the ER. I mean, I don't have a problem with the doctors or the system. I just don't like going. It's like just the worst thing to do. Okay, but my total steps for the week was over 109. Oh, no. I got that. That was the additional. But let's look. Let's see. So 109,000. So 109. Let's see. Oh, you just gave me an exact number. So 109 divided by 7, divide by the square root of the sun, carry 16 ones, and wow, 15,000 steps a day average? Damn, girl. Damn. That's awesome. That's a great job. Great job. Amanda, there were donut holes on the table right behind me at work right now. Right now? What are you going to do? Let's see. I'm telling myself, no, I'm not hungry. They don't look that good anyway. So that's a good thing to do. I would tell myself things like they don't look that good, but I would also remind myself of how I'm going to feel about 20 or 30 minutes when I'm done eating it. Because what will happen is, like, when for me the donuts are there, my brain's like, oh, wait, hold on. My brain's like, come on, voice. Oh. Where's my voices? Oh, there it is.
You know that donut's gonna taste so good. Just have some. When you're eating it, it's gonna be amazing.
That's what I like to, the voice is telling me, I know. But sometimes I have to be like, yeah, but how am I gonna feel, voice, 20 minutes after I had it when I know damn well it didn't fit in my goals? And the voice is gonna be like,
well, don't think about that. If you think about that, you won't want to have the donut.
So you gotta dance with the voice. So I like that. Good job, Amanda. Keep us posted how it goes at the live stream. Don't get the donut. Don't do it. Listen for the hungry monster that's like, donut holes. Donuts. Get the donuts. Don't listen to the voice. Don't listen to the donut voice. I love the voices. These voices are fun. I've got to figure out a better place for my board, though. I hate having to like reach way down here. I'm actually looking at a new setup, a tech setup to make this place a little more. I'm always trying to upgrade to make this better for you all. All right, let's see. Hey, do me a favor. Smash the like button on YouTube. Wherever it is, tap the screen. There should be a little thumbs up, something. Just do me a favor, give that a little tap if you like the live stream. And if you're new here, be sure to subscribe. I know a lot of you, I recognize your faces, so good to see you. But hey, let's jump to what I wanted to jump to in this. Savor. Good book. I'm not saying you got to rush out and get it. I wouldn't bump it up ahead of the queue if you've already got books that you're reading. But it is a good one. So the section here is just right in the beginning. I like to read from the beginning of books. I think that's where the best stuff is sometimes. Do you eat mindlessly? Nowadays, with all the societal pressures and high-speed living of our internet age, much of our eating happens on autopilot. We do not pay attention to how much food is served, or how much we have eaten, or how tasty the food is, or whether we're even hungry at all. Instead, how much we eat is often driven by external cues. The size of the bowl, the size of the plate, the portion size of the food itself. Given the supersizing trends over the past 20 years, it's easy to fall victim to portion distortion and lose sight of how much food is an appropriate amount to eat. All right, I'm just going to tell something that I do. Look, some of you are not going to like this, but I need you to hear me with all sincerity. I don't care what you think about what I'm about to say. I don't care. And I know that most of you do what I'm about to say, and I just have the stones to actually say it out loud. I look at what other people eat in public, and I pay attention to it. And I will often go, yeah, that may probably make sense. And I'll go, interesting. That's it. I ain't going to say anything to somebody. I ain't going to point them out. I'm going to acknowledge that I recognize I am seeing a snapshot and I don't know what they're doing. For all I know, they're just giving themselves a tasty treat. They saved up the calories and they're making it work. But let's be real. Probably not the case. And I live in a town that is well above the national obesity rate. In fact, my town is among the highest obesity rates in the country. So to put it mildly, Jonesboro, Arkansas is full of fat people. Very, very, very overweight people. Lots of them. Lots and lots and lots of them. I am virtually never in any room I'm in, I am almost always the thinnest or the most in shape. Now I'm excluding teenagers. They don't count. There's a lot of them, the teenage boys. But past that, no. Like in my town, regularly. When I go to other cities, no. I'm like just dime a dozen. I'm just like a dude. Like I just blend in with everybody else. In my town, I stand out. Didn't used to be the case. All right, so let me tell you this. Went out to eat with my dear sweet wife. We went to have a date. And she ran into people she knew. And she invited me over. And again, I can't help it. When I look at food, my brain goes 1,100 calories, 900 calories, 450 calories. Like my brain just sees calories of food just like it. I just know it. I've done it so much for so many years. I just know it. Much like when I just hold this up and my brain reads the word savor, I don't have to say, brain, what does that say on the book? My brain just goes, that book says savor. It just knows. And that's how it is with me and calories of a lot of food. I just know approximately how many calories are. And so I can very quickly look at a plate and get within 200 to 300 calories of what's on that plate. So she invited me over to these people and I said hello and I just happened to look down at their food because I just looked down and saw it. I wasn't like making a point about it. I just looked down and saw it. And I just observed between these two people that I was like, that's a lot more food than the two of you need. Like, that's how much I eat in a day in front of one of them. And so it's just because they had apps, they had drinks, they had plenty of other things. I'm not going to get into what was on their plate. That's irrelevant. But what I'm going to say is that they had way more food than they needed. Way more food than they needed. And they didn't even know. I don't think they even knew. I don't think they looked at it like, let's overfeed ourselves. I don't think they thought that. You know why I don't think that? Because I never thought that. We were at a restaurant that I used to eat at all the time. The food that was in front of them was the same food I would order when I was fat. Seriously, the same appetizer. I ordered that exact same appetizer. My burger would have been different than their burger, but like the rest of it was the same. And so the thing I'm just realizing, like, I did it too. I'd get all this food and have no idea. So come back to this line here, which I saw, Brianna, you liked it. Let me read this again. Instead, how much we eat is often driven by external cues, the size of the bowl, the size of the plate, the portion size of the food itself. Given the supersizing trends over the past 20 years, it's easy to fall victim to portion distortion and lose sight of how much food is an appropriate amount to eat. The reality is, most people, when they go out to eat at a restaurant, they're ordering what is not an appropriate amount to eat. It is a too much food problem. Way too much food is in front of you. And then most people, they surround themselves with people where it's socially acceptable, normal, maybe even expected to either A, clear all your food, or B, eat to the point that you're stuffed and you can't eat anymore. That's how I did it. That's how I know many people do it. You just do it until you can't or the food is gone. And we just, our life, it gets on such autopilot that we just don't even notice. We just don't even pay attention. Like here in America, especially, like our restaurant portion sizes, they're huge. They're ridiculous how much food you get. Like Texas Roadhouse is turning into one of the biggest restaurants in the country. I was just reading this last week. I hate going there. It's so much food. And here's the other thing I noticed. This Texas Roadhouse is right next to the Chipotle, so I literally see it all the time. You know what I notice about the people going in Texas Roadhouse? A lot of them are very fat. And again, I'm saying shit that I know some people are like, oh, damn, he's saying it on the internet? He's saying my worst fears out loud that somebody's looking at my food and judging me for what I'm doing. Well, maybe you should be judging yourself. Maybe you should stop and look at the food yourself. I don't care. Again, if any of you are going to get annoyed by this, just leave. I don't care. Because I know most of you do it too. I've talked to enough people that have told me they secretly look at people's grocery carts when they're at the grocery store, or they look at what people order, or they look at how much people eat. The reason why I'm talking about this is because I've had more conversations than I can even remember with individuals where a camera's not recording, and people admit, yeah, I do this too. So let's not pretend that I'm some weirdo that's doing this. I don't think that any of you are doing this. I just know enough about the internet to know, and this is YouTube. Somebody's going to find it and I could get blasted in the comments, and I don't care. So let's continue on here. Recently, researchers have conducted scientific studies looking at how mindless eating affects our food consumption. What they found is that mindless eating can easily lead to overeating. In a classic experiment, people at a movie theater were served fresh or stale popcorn in different size containers. Moviegoers who were given stale popcorn said the taste was unfavorable. Yet when they were served stale popcorn in a large container, they ate 61% more popcorn than they did when it was served in a small container while they were watching the movie. And they underestimated the amount of popcorn they ate. Sitting in a movie, yeah, even if it's not good popcorn, if you just happen to have a big tub, you're going to eat more of it, more than likely. In another experiment, graduate students at a Super Bowl party who served themselves in large bowls ate 50% more snack food than students who served themselves from smaller bowls. The larger the portion size, the less able we are to estimate how many calories we are eating. This is where something that massively helped me lose my weight is I became a seconds, thirds, fourths, fifths, and sixths junkie. I used to always go, well, let me just get what I think I'm going to want. Let me just go ahead and put it on my plate so I've got it. Because that way, in case I decide I want it, I already have it here. I don't have to go back and get it. Well, I just changed it. I just said, just get whatever I think I want, get way less, and then just come back for seconds. But still don't get as much as I think I want, come back for thirds. Because I noticed as I kept doing that, especially whenever I'd be tracking calories, I just wouldn't want to do it as much. I would actually be satisfied with a lot less. The thing I've come to realize is, the human body needs far less food than a lot of us have conditioned ourselves to think we need. And a lot of us, when we were bigger, we truly believed we need more food. We just did. Because we could eat it or we wanted to eat it. But yeah. Oh, see, Joseph right here, you're talking about here, like about the Texas Roadhouse, the calorie bombs. Yeah, that's the thing. They just come put all these rolls in front of you at restaurants. Why? They're trying to hook you into your appetite, make you feel like you're getting a really great deal. Michelle, you pay attention to people's grocery carts now. Yeah, I do it all the time. When I see a very overweight family shopping and I look in their grocery cart, I very often be like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I don't know that I've ever seen a very overweight person with a grocery cart that looks like my wife and I's. I do occasionally see elements of it, but what I often see is a lot of foods that aren't in my cart, aren't in the carts of other people that look like me. I mean, the reality is when you're bigger, a lot of times it comes down to the choices you're making, what you're putting in your cart, what you're bringing home, what you're ordering at the restaurant, what you're putting in front of you. That's what it comes down to. And then people will claim like it's genetics. I'm like, I don't know what genetics has to do with what you're putting in your grocery cart. No idea what that's got to do with it. You could just not bring it in your home. If it's not in your home, you won't want to eat it. But if it's in your home, you make it available to eat. And the reality is many of us, we gained our weight because we had a no problem, as in we didn't know how to tell ourselves no. So we didn't tell ourselves no. That's a problem. That's a problem. And so we've got to work on it. We've got to be more present when we're eating. Most people are overweight here in Alabama too, but then again, most food here is fried. They'll fry salads if you let them. Oh yeah, that's where I'm at too. Yeah. No, I got curious and I actually looked it up in my town because, I mean, don't get me wrong, America itself is becoming insanely obese. And it's becoming normalized to be obese. Like people are getting to a point they're like not talking down about it. Like, hey, maybe you shouldn't be this big. And people are like, no, it's okay that you're this big. That's a problem. Because we're telling people you don't need to do anything about it, but you do. And this problem is so hard to fix. And then when you make it worse by tacking on another 50 pounds, you don't realize it's like you've just added another year of weight loss to your life by tacking on 50 pounds. You know, but then people buy into the myth that somehow you can lose weight quickly and keep it off, which you can't. So unless you want to pay a monthly subscription to Ozempic to be thin, you can get, I love it. The subscription model is literally extending out to being thin. If you want to be thin, you can pay a monthly subscription for a medication. They'll keep you there. Which again, I have no issues if you want to use GLP-1s, but let's just be real clear. You're thin probably because the GLP-1 is a major part of it. Yeah, it's a tool. I'll give you, it's a tool, but it's a big tool. It's like you brought a bulldozer instead of a shovel. And if you only know how to use the bulldozer and you're not very good at the shovel and you didn't build the muscle literally to shovel the dirt out. Yeah. Anyway, I digress. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Jonesboro, I looked it up. Where I live, it is a noticeably higher obesity rate. Noticeably higher. This is a very fat town that I live in. Yeah, I went to Texas Roadhouse with no butter, then had steak, salad, and baked potato, and made sure to avoid added sauces, but not as much salad dressing and no butter. But you see, honestly, I just don't even go to Texas Roadhouse. Like, if I'm invited, I'm just going to say no. I'm just not even going to go. Because it's like, to order an appropriate amount of food, for me, I'm overpaying by a lot. Like, it's what, $20, $22 to get what I would want to get that's not that much food? It's just, I don't know. I just wouldn't go. Like, I was given a gift card there for once. I photographed an event and somebody gave me a $50 gift card. And I'm like, all right, I'll take this. I still had to put up some cash on top of the $50. And I felt like I was a ripoff because the amount of food I ended up eating. Like, when I ate an appropriate amount of food for a human, and I keep in mind, I was ultra marathon training at the time. So I was factoring in what I needed running an ultra marathon. Like, I was eating 3,200 calories a day. I couldn't justify Texas Roadhouse. I just won't go. I just wouldn't even go. I can't think of a single, like that. When I went with that gift card, I told myself I'll never go there again. Like, if I'm given a gift card, I'm just going to give it away to somebody. I'll be like, here, give me $40 and I'll give you this $50 gift card. They can go deal with it. I'm never going to go. It's just not, it's a ripoff. It seemed like Golden Corral. I'll never go to Golden Corral or anything like it again, ever. It does not matter the event I'm invited. I'm not going. I don't do business at places that are honestly, their sole existence is to capitalize off of gluttony, is how I look at these places now. Is that a bold move, a bold bold position to take? Yeah, it is. And it's also why I got bold results, because I took bold stances. But yeah. Michelle, I watch how people eat now too. Same thing. I talk to so many people that have lost all their weight. We see it. When we've lost all our weight, here's the thing. I talked about in this last week's podcast. When you've lived your life obese and then you come to this side and you actually can stay here, you have sort of an awakening. It's like you literally wake up to seeing the world differently. You just wake up and you see yourself differently. You see choices differently. You see your own illusions that you believe. It is literally an awakening. I talk to people like I can tell when they've got it, I don't know how to describe it, but I can tell they got it. And one of the things is you can tell they see themselves with this new sense of clarity. The illusions that allowed them to get overweight have begun to fall away, and they no longer believe them. But again, Rhea, same thing. I'm telling you, even though they paid my tab, I wouldn't go. Now, if I were not on a weight loss journey and it was like my stepdaughter wanted to do her wedding reception there, again, I can't possibly imagine that would be a plausible scenario. I would go, right? All right, so I guess I'm being too absolute. There are extreme cases when I would go, but it would have to be like that. But honestly, going with my friends, Texas Roadhouse is a blacklist. Other restaurants I would still go to, like let's say I was invited to Chili's, I'd still go to Chili's. But like a Texas Roadhouse, their shtick is to overfeed and provide insane volumes. And I know enough about how they cook that their dishes are often very high in calorie. And if you get a reasonable calorie dish, it just doesn't make sense. So again, maybe you do it, maybe you don't. But I just know that I just don't go. I just don't go. Because my health, my wellness, my body is more important. And I know enough about myself to know that when that food is in front of me, that if that food's in front of me, I'm more tempted to take it. And I also know that just because I got out unscathed once, to me, I look at that the equivalent of like the drunk. It's like, see, I had one drink and it didn't make a difference. It was totally okay. I had one drink and I stopped and it was not a problem. It's like, yeah, but you're a drunk. You're an alcoholic. Yeah, I know you got away with it this time. The worst thing an alcoholic could have happen is they have one drink and it's fine. Because the next time, like, yeah, I'll have one drink and it's fine. And then they get two, like, see, I can have two drinks and it's fine. Then they have two drinks and it's fine. They're like, no biggie. And then the next day they go out, get a drink again. Look, I had 2 drinks yesterday. Nothing bad happened. Everything was okay. Then 3, then 4. Next thing you know, they wrapped their car around a telephone pole. Again. Or they showed up late to work. Again. I don't know. They did something again. And so I just look at it as when I go to certain places, I'm playing with snakes. I'm dabbling with my old addictions, and I just don't do it. I just don't. Why? Because I awakened. I know myself enough to know that if I put myself in certain situations, I'm going to act out, and it's my fault because I shouldn't have put myself in that situation. I didn't know that in the beginning. Like I mentioned earlier about the person that had all the food in their plate. I rewind back to me. I didn't know either. I had no awareness to how many calories were in food. None. I had no clue. No clue. That's why tracking calories is so important for a little while, because you need caloric awareness. Many of us need to be awakened. This is how much food you've been eating. So many people, they're like, I don't eat that much. I don't know why I get that big. It's because of my thyroid. It's because of my PCOS. It's because of blah, 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 blah. And then they track their calories and they're like, oh, turns out I was gaining weight because I was just eating too much and not moving very much. Turns out it was that simple. Because it's calories per week. A person they'll track their calories for a day. But like, well, I don't know why I'm gaining weight. Look, I tracked my calories today. I only had like 2,200 calories. That's not going to make me gain weight. I don't know why I need to track. And then 3 days later, they have 5,200 calories. But they're not tracking. And so they're not paying attention. They don't notice the blip. But if you just track everything you eat, don't even set a target. You just track everything you eat for 3 weeks straight. You'll find out where the extra calories are getting in. You'll find them. Because if you're not losing weight, it's because you're not in a calorie deficit. Plain and simple. That's it. End of story. Do I go to buffets now? Only under duress. I do. Buffets are hard to find because sometimes you find them at like conferences, conventions. It's a common thing to serve large groups of people. So I have a buffet protocol that I do. So if anybody wants to know the buffet protocol, we can talk about it in the guild. I'm not going to talk about it here. But yes, I do have a buffet protocol. We had a pandemic where being overweight put you at greater risk, and they still didn't encourage weight loss and exercise. Oh yeah. Look, as a society, we've normalized being overweight. We've made it okay. Hope, right here, I think you hit it perfectly. I think it's okay to look and watch and observe, but no judgments. It's just data. Agreed. I look at it as a reminder of how I used to be. It's not judgment. I don't think a person that overeats is somehow flawed. I don't think that they're naive. I don't think that they're out of control. I think they just don't know. That's what I truly believe. I think a person just doesn't know. Like if a person knew, I believe they would act differently. If they understood what their body needed, how it would work, it would be different. But we also have to realize there's also the social and habitual elements that are hard to overpower, and a person may not realize they're in it. So for me, it's not judgment of the person, it's judgment of the behavior. It's like that behavior I'm not going to do. For me, that behavior I deem is unhelpful. It's bad. But it's bad because of my goal. If I didn't care about my body, if I didn't care about my weight, like truly, I know a lot of people, everybody cares, but a lot of people don't really care. Like if I just was in like that state where I'm like, yeah, I want to live a long time, but I don't really care about my body and I'm doing anything to take care of it and I treat it like shit like 80% of the time. Yeah, if I was living like that, yeah, it's not bad to have a whole bunch of food for dinner. Who cares? You're not thinking about it. It's not your goal. But if your goal is to take care of your body, well, then you're probably going to pay attention to what you eat. You're probably going to pay attention to your sleep. Probably going to pay attention to your exercise. So I just look at the behavior, and I judge that. That's what I look at. So this is interesting. The serving size on containers. So everybody, serving sizes, in case you don't know, are arbitrary. They're completely meaningless. It is not. I hate that they use the phrase serving size because a serving size isn't a serving. Like there's serving and portion, and it's sort of what is the portion you're going to eat. Yeah, I don't like the serving size. Just makes it so confusing for people. Oh yeah, right here, same thing. Yeah, you go to a place like Texas Roadhouse, they're going to make their veggies taste good, so they're going to bulk them up with flavor with fats, which bulks up the calories. So yes, you're still getting the health benefits of the veggies, but it's coming with a whole bunch of extra calories. A lot of people, the way they eat healthy is they load up the flavor by bulking up the calories. So you're eating healthy, but it's too many calories. So if you're trying to manage your weight, this is why I think it's important to say I want to be thin and I want to be healthy. Because you could eat healthy but pump up the calories, and so you won't lose weight, but you will improve your health. But if you want to lose weight, you have to eat healthy and be mindful of the energy that is coming with the healthy foods. Like avocado is very healthy. It is very high in calorie and it's very dense. So it's very easy to add a lot of calories to food without even realizing it. Yeah, right here. The behavior is unhelpful or bad, not the person. Yes, we always separate the person from the behavior. You're not what you do. None of us are what we do. You are beyond that. Yes, this is exactly it, Fiona. Serving is just a way to measure. 100%. 100%. Buffets are so gross. Well, but again, I don't know that I'd say buffets in general. Like I was at a conference last month and their buffet was amazing. I mean, it was so good. It better been good though. I paid damn good money for it. So I get very disappointed when I pay good money for a place and they bring me garbage food. And so, have a reception at a buffet. Oh, you're Candace, you're behind. Oh, you must be at the part where I'm talking about the thing. So anyway, let's get back to the book. This is a fun conversation. We'll keep this going. Let's see. The cues for mindless eating reach beyond the size of a plate or the size of a portion. Our whole surroundings support mindless eating, from the ads on TV to fast food dollar menus to favorable placement of unhealthy foods on supermarket shelves. All these cues combined can make it very difficult to find what it is our bodies truly need. Are you often eating on the run, in the car, or at your desk? Do you have to dine out often because you have not had time to cook? And do you find yourself making unwise food choices when eating out? Practicing mindfulness can help us avoid the external cues that trap us, avoid mindless eating, and focus in on the practices that keep us healthy. One of the things I had to do to lose my weight was I needed to simplify my life. I don't talk about this enough, but maybe I should talk about it more. The reality is a lot of us were fat is because we take on too much. We think we should be able to do more. We're always comparing ourselves to the output of somebody else. And we end up overloading ourselves, having to eat on the go, having to eat on the run, not enough time to properly think about and prepare our food or to get some exercise or movement into our life because we've overloaded our life. And so, in many cases, the answer to getting a control of your weight, your heart, your mind, and your life is to start saying no to more things. To just say no. Going out to friends? No. Taking on that extra project at work? No. Going for that raise? No. doing something with your family because they have a crisis due to their own mismanagement? No. At a certain point, you just got to stop and take ownership of your life and your existence and let everybody else do the same for them. Many of us were out there trying to solve shit for everybody else, and we ain't solved our own problems. You've got to simplify your life. You've got to cut things out. I love it when a person's like, I don't have time. I'm like, okay, then what are you doing to make the time? Nothing. Okay, well then stop complaining about a lack of time because you're not even trying to fix it. You're just making an excuse and saying, I can't be better because of this excuse. It's no good. It's no good at all. You know, look right here, Rhea. For the record, almost all your behaviors are driven by emotions. And I know you're working on it, but like how? How? What are you doing? What does that mean, working on it? What are you doing different? What are you cutting out? What meaningful lifestyle changes have you made in the last 6 months? What have you cut out that was important? What have you added in its place? What's something of value that you sacrificed at the altar of your future self? I get it with the emotions, but what does that mean? I don't even know what that means. I've learned a lot. Okay, you added more. Doing better at pausing before acting, work in progress. That's good. That's good. But what about your standards? Have you taken a good hard look at your standards of what acceptable and not? Because you have standards. I know you do. Like there's a certain amount of Oreos in my mind that was unacceptable to eat in a single sitting. Like eating an entire package of Oreos for me when I was at my biggest was an unacceptable standard. It did not matter how sad, how upset, did not matter. There was nothing that could happen that in my head, I would say it's okay to eat an entire package of Oreos in one sitting. An entire row, on the other hand, providing I take a little break in the middle of it, yeah, it'd be totally acceptable to eat an entire row in just an hour or two. It would be very acceptable to walk away with a stack of Oreos this high. Totally acceptable. My standards dictated that that was okay. There was nothing wrong with it. Is providing certain conditions were met, like, oh, I'm a sufficient level of stressed or emotional, or watching a TV show, or I just want it, right? As long as certain conditions are met, it's okay. But I had certain behaviors that there were no conditions that would permit me to say it was okay. So, Rhea, what are your standards that you've raised? What are the things that you said, these are okay, providing I'm emotional, and that you've now said, it's not okay ever, even if I'm emotional? And you're going to have to take it behavior by behavior by behavior by behavior. You can't do it blanket. Like how I just mentioned for me, like with the Oreos. You're literally going to have to, I don't know what your thing is. Let's say your thing is, I'll grab another one from my past, Doritos. I love Doritos. So let's say your thing was also Doritos. Is it acceptable to eat a family-size bag of Doritos in a day by yourself? In a 24-hour period, is that okay? For me, in my past, it was okay. It was acceptable to do it as long as it wasn't on purpose. As long as it was an accident. As long as I was stressed. As long as I didn't mean to, it's okay. Now, it's never okay. I won't even buy the bag. Why would I buy the bag? Why would I buy the bag? I'm not going to eat the whole thing. I don't even want to eat the whole thing. Why would the bag be in my house? It would never be in my house. It would be like a smoker buying a package of cigarettes to keep them in their car just in case. You ain't a person that's quit smoking, buying a pack of cigarettes, keep it in their car just in case. They wouldn't do that. When you quit smoking, you stop buying cigarettes. That's what you do. You stop buying them. So when we stop our vice foods, we just stop buying them. So Rhea, what have you stopped buying? What no longer gets bought and brought into your home ever anymore? Period. End of story. Doesn't mean you can't have it. Just means it doesn't come in your home. I'm not saying Doritos, like in my case, Doritos didn't leave my life. Family-size bags of Doritos left my life. That's the difference. I don't keep family-size or large bags of Doritos in my home. I haven't kept them in my home for 6 years. They used to always live in my home, and on road trips, I'd have them. And when I traveled, I'd have them. I would have bags upon bags of chips. I always had chips around because I loved chips. I still love chips. Chips are amazing, and I still have chips. I just don't have them in my home. They don't deserve to be in my home. But what else, Rhea? What's something in the last 2 months that you've said nothing, it doesn't come in? Like, think of this. It's real simple. Whatever you overdid it on in the last 2 months, it doesn't get to be in your home anymore because you clearly can't be trusted with it. That's how I did it. If I overdid it on a food, that food doesn't get to be in my house for a while, months. Doesn't mean I can't have it, just means it doesn't come in my home. And you know what started happening? Over time, a lot of foods left my home and then they'd come back and I'd lose it again and then they'd go away. Then I'd lose it and test it again a few months later and I'd lose it. A lot of foods still don't come into my home. Many foods can be in my home now. You know, because a lot of them I take a break, get back and get a little reacclimated. I'm like, okay, I can control myself around that. But again, Rhea, let's take this. I don't care about the sugar. Let's say you overdid it and you had 2 bowls of ice cream as an emotional eat, even if it fit in your calories. Guess you can't have ice cream in your home anymore. That's how I'd look at it. You've got to find because what you're doing is you're telling me what you got rid of. What I want to know is what have you not got rid of that you need to get rid of? What's the next thing on your hit list? What's the food or behavior that's got to go? It's good to focus on what you've already done, but you've already done it. It's over. Your journey ain't done. What's next? As soon as you did it, woo, got my thing. Great, cool. What's next? You get it. Woo, got it. Let it go. Who cares? It's done. What's next? Whoo, got it. Yes, fantastic. Let it go. What's next? Once it's over, it's over. Once you mess up, you messed up. Once you win, you win. Who cares? Move on. What's next? That's what I want to hear from you, Rhea. What's next? Dig in. Tell me what's next. What is the next thing you're going to change? You're going to cut out of your life. You're going to remove. What's the thing you keep doing the last 2 months? Just 2 months. I only injured in the last 2 months. What needs to go? What needs to go? What can no longer be in your home? What's a behavior that you can't do in your home anymore? You can do it outside your home if you want. That's fine. But you can't do it in your home. Because remember, emotional eating isn't about the calories. Emotional eating is about the motive behind the choice to eat. That's what this gets into with the mindful eating. And so, Rhea, for you, you mentioned earlier you're struggling with the emotions. Okay. That means you're emotional eating, probably. What are you changing? What's going away? What activity, what behavior in your life is stressing you out? And it's been stressing you out, and it's still here. What needs to go? Because maybe you don't need to get rid of food. Maybe you've already gotten rid of all the food. But maybe what you haven't gotten rid of is a source of stress. Maybe a source of stress you've been leaving in your life and you won't cut it out. What needs to be cut out? What's next? That's what you got to dig in and focus on. Because right now, Rhea, you keep focusing on what you've already done, and that's keeping you stuck. You're getting stuck on your wins. You got to celebrate them and then let them go and go get another one. Not getting fast food when I'm emotional. Okay. That's a good one. That's a good one. Even if you're hungry, even if it fits your calories, even if everybody else wants to do it, if you're in an emotional state, don't go. Mine is Five Guys. I cannot have Five Guys if I'm emotional, period, ever. What's interesting is I only seem to want it when I'm emotional. That's the interesting part. But no, never, period, end of story. Cannot have it. I cannot have it. Doesn't mean I don't have it, though. Last year, I went to get it on around the anniversary of my dad dying. Because my dad loved Five Guys. He introduced me to it. So that's part of why it's an emotional thing for me. It's got a connection. But last year, I planned it well in advance. So I'm going to go, I'm going to have a burger. I'm just enjoy it, kind of think of my dad. It's not an emotional eat. It's just, I want to remember him. And I ordered a reasonable amount, right? It was planned. Very different than when I feel very stressed and my brain's like, go to Five Guys. That's going to taste so good. Because that's used to be where I'd go binge. I'd go binge at Five Guys. I like this one, Rhea. I like this one a lot, actually. Not getting fast food when I'm emotional. Because you're not, like, who the fuck cares? I don't care about fast food. Great. That just happens to be your outlet, right? Like Five Guys, it's fine. It's just, but that's the outlet. And it's being done because it's emotionally driven. That's a good one. That's a good one. Because you can draw a clear line in the sand. If I'm emotional, I don't get fast food. Period. Doesn't matter the reason, doesn't matter if my family wants to go, doesn't matter if my friends are going, doesn't matter if I literally have no food at home, then my ass is going to the grocery store. I am not getting fast food if I am emotional. Period. doesn't matter. There is nothing I can say to myself that would excuse it and make it okay for at least 6 months. After 6 months, we'll revisit. But right now, for 6 months, no, never, period. That's it. It's over. I love that one. That's good. Because you can now draw a battle with yourself. And anytime you mess up, you got to find out why. Why did you do it? You got to dig in. And I know you got a coach. So anytime you do it, you need to dig in and you need to come up with reasons why you did it. And you need to come up with reasons for how you're going to ruin it. That's a good one. Good job, Rhea. That's it. I like that. Yeah. Me too, Michelle. Me too. I do not like to bring Cheez-Its into my house anymore. Boxed wine is not allowed in my house. I can have it, but it does not live with me. Yep. That's another good one. There's another good one. Let's see here. Scroll back up on the chat. Skittles used to be a vice food until Atlanta ruined that. Oh, yeah, for the savoring activity. Yeah. Actually, the savoring stuff, I got it from him. This is where I learned about the savoring activities. So, yeah, icing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I get that one. I get that one. Summer's hard for me because there's so many more events on my weekends. I'm trying not to use that fact as an excuse. Just make a commitment. Just make a blanket commitment. You don't deviate from your plan because somebody else scheduled an event. And if you're going to go to an event, you should determine what you're going to have. So if it's like, all right, if I'm going to a barbecue with burgers, how will I approach it? I can tell you a lot of times, if I'm worried, I just bring my own food. Usually if you bring some chicken marinating in a bag to a cookout, people are more than happy to throw some chicken on there that you can have. And if you bring enough, you can share. Who cares, right? Sort of like if I go to a potluck, I'll bring something of my own. So at least I know I got my thing if I want to have that. But yeah, you're going to have to make plans. Oh, yeah, it's in that. I have that book that y'all are doing a book club. It's a good book, actually. Yeah, let me get it. I think this is the book you're doing. Oh, no, you're doing The Hunger Habit. Oh, no, maybe I'm doing a different one. But anyway, there's this book. I like this book, Mindless Eating. This is another really great book with all sorts of things. Yeah, if you're looking for... Yeah, mindless eating is 100% emotional eating, everybody, and it'll 100% cause you to gain weight. So, I'm just reading your comment here. Uncovered the big fear for the weekend that I'm processing. All right, so here's the thing, though. There's processing the emotion itself, and there's processing your reaction. These are two separate things. I'm worried that you're focusing more on dealing with why you're emotional, which you should be doing, but I'm worried you're doing that at the expense of dealing with your reactions. Your reactions are the problem to the emotion, not the emotions themselves. I'm okay with you being sad. I'm okay with you being debilitating sad. I'm okay with you being so sad it literally causes your heart to feel pain and you're sobbing on the ground crying. I'm okay with you doing that. I don't have any problems with that. I don't care if you're mad, stressed. I don't care if you're so anxious, you're literally shaking from anxiety. I don't mind if you feel any of that. All of that is okay. It's your reactions to it. That's what you got to work on. Sometimes I get worried that you correct me, but you're trying to control the emotions. All right, hold on. Process the reaction. Why did I choose X behavior to deal with Y emotion? Well, I mean, it's simple because you wanted to change your emotional state. That's it. It's that simple. You didn't want to feel the way you were feeling. It's not any more complicated than that, probably. Like, yeah, you could give me the specific breakdowns. This thing happened when this caused me to feel this emotion, and I was thinking this thought, but it's real simple. When you emotionally eat, you're feeling one way, and you want to regulate your emotional state with food. You wanted to feel something different. That's it. Which implies to me that there was something you didn't want to feel, something you didn't want to experience, express, work through, or deal with head on. Maybe it was used to an escape, but that's it. It was trying to control food. So it's real simple. You're either trying to avoid a source of stress that you don't want to deal with, that you need to deal with, or there's a source of stress you can't make go away and you're thinking it shouldn't be here. You're not liking the feelings and you're wanting the feelings to not be here, so you're trying to change it. Or you're having an emotion that's getting so intense you don't think you can handle it or don't want to handle it, or it's incredibly painful and you're trying to regulate it with food. It's, there's a few other scenarios, but like the reality is emotional eating only lands in one of a handful of categories. But almost all of them can be traced back to the same core issue. You're running away from dealing with something and you're trying to change your emotional state. That is almost always what it is. One or both of those two. So yeah, it's this right here, Rihanna. It's you hit it on the head. You just feel it. That's what I said. Like, I don't have it. Like, when a person's like, I'm so sad, I got to do something about it. I'm like, yeah, it's go lay on the ground and sob. That's the answer. The answer is just be sad beyond sad. That's the answer. Don't run from it. Don't diminish it. Don't say you shouldn't be feeling it. Don't say it doesn't make sense. Just feel it. That's the answer. That's how you work through the emotions. You work through the emotions by working through the emotion, by just fucking sitting in it, just like letting it just ruin you. Because emotions are temporary. They don't go on and on and on. We just sometimes make sure they go on and on and on by resisting them, by fighting them, by regulating them with things like food. So yeah, feel the emotions and stay on plan. That's it. Because there's nothing wrong with feeling an emotion. There's nothing wrong with crippling, debilitating depression. There's something wrong if you take action that keeps you there. I mean, you can certainly make it worse. Like, we do have that power. I'm not suggesting we do that. But like, yeah, David, right here. This is it. The only way out is through. It's like grief. You can't run from grief. I've learned. I'm coming up into my grieving period. Anniversary of the passing of my dad. I don't run from it. I look forward to it. I bow my head and say thank you for this period of grief that I'm going to feel. I'm grateful for it. And I will literally set aside time. I've done this every year for the last 6 years, especially in the week of my dad's death. I will set aside time where I will be alone. I will be isolated. No one can bother me, and I will be uninterrupted so that I can just be sad. Like, here, let me tell you what to do. Here, let me turn the camera. So I really need to get like a roaming mic, and then I can walk around. But if you see right here, hi, Dad. This is my dad. So, hey, this is my dad here on his little urn. Welcome to the live stream, Dad. But what I will do is I will come here and I will gather things. These are his mementos, the keepsakes that I have of him. And like one of them I'll get is this picture. This one. This picture has the ability to wreck me. Here, I'll bring it closer. I know you probably can't see it super well, but it's little me, my dad, sitting right there. And I just think, like, what was he thinking as he looked at me? But I keep this picture here, and I'll pull out some other things, like this knife. My dad, when I was a kid, he told me I could have this. It's a buck knife. Buck knives don't make them like they used to. But I remember as a kid, I wasn't allowed to play with it or touch it or hold it until I was strong enough to push the locking mechanism, and then I could lower it safely. I was always scared that I would like hit it and it'd like cut my finger off, but love this knife. I mean, it's like a 40-year-old knife. Still in the original leather case that it came with, but I remember my dad said I could have it when he died when I was a kid, and I went and I got it when he was at the hospital, and I held it in case it was a moment of lucidity because I wanted him to give it to me. I wanted to be like, could you give this to me? Could you say I could have it? Like, it's like but he was never lucid enough. Anyway, let me put the camera back. I share that to say, because what I'll do is I will go trigger my grief on purpose. And I'll try to make it hurt. I usually cry pretty hard every year because I learned that that's where the relief is. It's on the other side of expression. And when I run to food, I was robbing myself of expression. And I was just delaying and making it harder. You can't go around grief. You can't go under it. You can't go beneath it. You can't go over it. You just got to go through it. That's it. So, Rhea, I know you're relearning how. You already know how. You already know how. You're not changing because the pain of changing is still greater than the pain of living the way you're living. It sounds like you had a thing at work, which is good. These sorts of pains can be what you need. But part of it is the answer to what you need to do will often not make sense in the moment. It's just keep your mouth shut. Don't talk to anybody. Withdraw and go feel. Go process by yourself or a supportive person that will let you talk. Doesn't have to be a therapist. It can be. Therapists are great at it. They're professionals. But sometimes a loved one or a friend can do the trick. Sometimes we just need someone to hear us. So, we went interesting places today. I didn't know where we were going to go in the live stream, but we went there. But feel your feelings. Don't run from them to food. Be mindful of what's in front of you. If you're looking for a good book on mindful eating, go pick up Savor by Thich Nhat Hanh. If you want a sort of a spiritual approach to mindful living, mindful eating. He did it in tandem with Dr. Lillian Chung, lecturer and director of health promotion and communication at the Harvard School of Public Health's Department of Nutrition. She is also the creator and editorial director of the Nutrition Source, the Harvard School of Public Health's nutrition website for journalists, health professionals, and consumers. So it sounds like she knows her stuff. She's a PhD in... Oh, she's a registered dietitian. That's what she is. I thought she was a dietitian. They only just put the RD there. They didn't list it anywhere else. Yeah, great book. And if you're looking for another good book, this is another good one. I didn't talk about it today, but it came up off the shelf. But this is a fun one. Very, very quirky. Lots of enjoyment. Oh, I just opened to a interesting page. Let me read this. We'll end here. The Conditioning of Comfort. We're going to read from this book. Why is macaroni and cheese a comfort for you, while meatloaf is a comfort food for your brother and sister? Most people can't tell you. Comfort food connections are almost always subconsciously formed. To better understand how these connections develop, my lab uses an in-depth interviewing method called laddering. Laddering is a technique for eliciting the deep connections people have between the characteristics of food and their feelings toward it. It's the first tool I teach researchers in my lab, and I've taught it to over 1,500 MBA students who have taken my course. A laddering interview is a way to organize a person's free associations with food. Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah, I know what this is. Oh, yeah. It's done it where you do to retrace why certain foods are comfort foods. I've actually done this with clients. I have a different approach than this one. I haven't read this section in a while. But yeah, it gets to like everybody's comfort food's a little different. And you're able to actually map it out and figure it out. It's kind of cool. I've done it with conversations with people. So if you actually have a comfort food and you're ever interested in it, we can always do a session and help you figure that out. And how it makes you feel. And then we can work on like, this is the feeling you're wanting to feel. What's something else you can do with it? All right. I'm going to stop here. Have a great day, everybody. Go kick ass this week. Next week's Memorial Day here in the States. I will not be doing a live stream next week, but I'll do an extra one, I think, during the week next week. Don't hold me to that, but I'm planning to, tentatively. But I'm definitely not doing one on Monday because I'll be traveling. So I will see you next week. And those of you in the guild, I'll see you in the guild today and later this week as well. Have a great rest of your diet week, everybody. Go check out the podcast. Dropped that last Friday. If you're new here, head on over to becomingthin.com for more resources. Everybody else, good to see you. Have a great week.